Hi everyone, welcome back to the Curious Cat Kitchen. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, a recipe, but the holidays, it gets a little bit busy. I was actually away, um, even though it was just 5 days, it just, the preparation and then the recovery when you come back. And I'm back in this harsh lighting, yet again, unfortunately, because it gets dark so early. And this is the time that I would film it so that it's live and fresh. Anyhow, so yes, I just came back from an amazing trip in Tortola. So I'll tell you a little bit about it as I make today's dish. I am actually on my way to film another episode of Conversations with Kat with one of my very, very, very good friends, Soribel. And I was like, well, let me make something to go over there. And I really gonna be putting this together as I go. I have an idea of what I want to make, but we are gonna go as we go. Like I said, I just came back, so I don't have too much in my fridge. I haven't gone grocery shopping yet because when I came back, it was Basil weekend. So yeah, it's just been go, 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 go. Anyhow, but I did have some stuff in the fridge, and this is what I'm going to use in the fridge and the pantry. So this is what I'm going to use, and we'll see how it comes together. I'm going to do a salad. I actually want to do something a little bit lighter, healthier. I just came off my 36-hour fast, my monthly one. So, because, Thanksgiving, even though I don't eat too badly on Thanksgiving, I don't stuff myself anymore. But, Thanksgiving and then on vacation. So I came back and did a fast. So I just wanted to keep it light, keep it high protein and high fiber. So I'm gonna actually these were on sale, and I don't know how much they are at other places, but here in Miami, it is $5.99 for one. And these are great. They're really high in protein. They're 64 grams of protein per pack, and they're soy-free. Although I don't have an issue with soy, the texture of these are a lot denser, so I do like it. And like I said, they were buy one get one free at Publix last week. So I was like, I stocked up a little bit. So I had this in my fridge, which I'm gonna do. I'm going to go ahead and cut it up. Let me move my camera again. I'm going to go ahead and cut it up and then pan fry it. So this will be my little bit of crispiness. So I have it removed out of its box. This is better, I think. And they're not in as much liquid as regular tofu. The bag is a pain to open, though. I will say it's like really thick plastic. Maybe that's not the best thing to wrap it in, but so it's not too much liquid. Like I said, it's a lot more dense and packed, and it's made out of a paper towel. It is made out of fava beans. So we're just gonna do a little small pat. Doesn't need too much because it's pretty much dry. So I figured I'm gonna cut these in little sticks. Don't know why, but figure out how big to cut them. And then I was deciding whether I wanted to air fry it or pan fry it. I think I am gonna pan fry it. because it just gets brown a lot faster. It's kind of thick though. Maybe in half. So yeah, we are going as we go, as usual. So I just came back from Tortola from one of my friends celebrating his 50th birthday. And he had everything, like, it was so well planned. Especially, you know, and this is a little bit of a stereotype, obviously, but for a dude, like, we had spreadsheets, we had everything down to a T, from everybody's grouping and arrival time. It was just amazing. And Tortola is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. You know, like all the Virgin Islands, US, British, they all have that sparkling blue turquoise water that is clear. It was I have it on my channel. It's what am I doing? It's a short with me on the beach floating, and the shot with a drone, and it looks like I'm in a swimming pool. You wouldn't even know that I was on a beach until it pans out. So yeah. And there was 26 of us. It was so well, oh, there it goes. It was so well planned. No glitch. And the great thing was everybody got along. Like, everybody loved each other. We went as strangers, as many of us were. There was a few people that knew each other. Not a few people, some of them, handful of people on each side, because, you know, it was people from Miami and Chicago. But most of us were strangers, or not very close. And basically, it just made new connections, as well as deepened the connections. Getting the cornstarch. I did decide that I'm going to do a little bit of cornstarch. I got to start the pan. And it just made me realize, like, we just became strangers, we were strangers, and we became this close-knit group of friends that is like planning a reunion, because it was just so much fun. Like, everybody just got along so well, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and it made me reflect on my whole thing of connections. You know, I talk about it a lot, as far as how important connections are, all the time, because I really believe it is. And every time I do something like this, it just solidifies that same thought of, like, oh, I think I'm low on oil. That same thought of how important connection is, because the thing that if I were to look at the thing that in my life that has the biggest impact on my experience, like, it has the biggest impact on our experiences, on our behaviors, on our thoughts, on so much, is based on human connection and our connection with one another. And how we share and support each other. Like, it was just, it just warms my heart, and it makes my heart so full to do that, to be able to experience this. There was 26 of us total in 3 beautiful, amazing villas, but we basically spent every day together, all of us. And it was just so beautiful to experience. And I had a similar experience earlier this year in April, when I went to DR for my friend's, actually, Sori's mom, my friend Sori, that I'm about to go and have the conversation with. It was her mom's 70th birthday. And again, it was that same feeling of togetherness and love, where there were strangers that didn't know each other, friends, and from her new life, because she moved from New York, to her family and friends back home, and coming together, that mashing together. And again, it was just filled with so much love. There was no drama. There was no, I was just like, this is amazing to experience. And I got to experience it again with another group of people that was completely different, yet just as magical and amazing. So, connections, it is so important. It is what shapes our life. Literally, the experiences that we get to have is because of connections. The emotions we have is because of connections. Anyhow, let me move this up here. So all I did, this actually by itself can fry up pretty well. It draws out the liquid, and it doesn't really give a crisp, but it gives a nice crust, shall we say. So I just wanted to dust it with some cornstarch because I do want to give it a little bit of crisp. And I hope I have enough oil. I'm just going to shallow fry it. I have very, very little oil. This is hopefully going to work. So I'm going to pan fry it, and I'm not seasoning it. I'm going to mix in some spray. I didn't season it because I'm actually going to put a sauce after I pan fry it. I'm going to glaze it with a sauce. And then even though I'm doing a salad dressing, I want this to have a little bit more flavor. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fry these. Turn down this side for some reason. It's just a lot hotter. So yes, I have another episode of, I was quite upset. I did have plans to do some episodes of Conversations with Kat while I was in Tortola. Because, I had enough people there. I knew a few people that would be down for it. And why not? Beautiful setting, beautiful background. And in the midst of it all, I forgot to pack the cards. The most important part of it. That's what I forgot. So what am I looking for? So I didn't get to film. So I didn't have any more episodes. And I needed more. So she's going to be my next person. I already knew that I wanted her on anyways. So to give you a little bit of background of how we met, and it's interesting how life happens. But we met in Jamaica Carnival in 2019, and I remember her. We spoke. We actually exchanged numbers. We didn't speak that much. It was like a couple of words exchange, but we didn't speak that much. But we did exchange numbers, and then sometimes you exchange numbers with people, even though you felt the connection, you liked each other at the time. You may not always follow up to keep in touch unless there's a pull to it. So we didn't end up keeping in touch, and we ended up seeing each other a few years later. I think it was 2 years later, down here in Miami. And she looked very familiar. She came up to me. She was like, I don't know if you remember me, but we met in Jamaica Carnival. And I will be the first to admit, like, I'm terrible at remembering people unless something really stands out to me. And I feel bad, but unless there was something significant that happened, I don't tend to because I meet a lot of people. But anyways, she was like, I don't know if you remember me. And she came, and I was like, oh, I remember the face, but I didn't remember her exactly how we met or the situation. And then once again, we exchanged numbers, and and didn't get in touch. And then how we actually started talking was oh jeez, I was looking through my WhatsApp. I don't know why. I was looking through at my WhatsApp contact list at the pictures of people, and her picture in particular stood out to me. It was something about her eyes. Like, she had these very beautiful, inviting eyes. And I was like, who is this? And she's beautiful, by the way. But I was like, who's this? I was like, I just felt this pull to want to reach out to her to find out who she was and why she was in my phone and why I haven't, she looked familiar, but I couldn't place where I met her, who she was, or anything. So then I ended up messaging her like a stalker. I was like, I don't mean to, I said, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I came across your picture and I'm trying to figure out who you are. Like, I don't know where we met. I was like, did we meet through a certain person? Even though we knew the same person, we didn't meet through the person that I was thinking about. So she was like, yeah, we met. She again told me we met Jamaica Carnival. So I was like, oh, okay, let's keep in touch. And again, just didn't happen until a few months later. And funny enough, I went to an event that I wasn't supposed to go to. It was on my birthday. The original event that I was going to go to got rained out. It was an outdoor thing, and it got rained out. So a friend of mine that I went to, our mutual friend that I went to, that came to my birthday brunch, I was like, oh, what are you doing later? And he was like, oh, so and so has this going on. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me see. I'll stop by if you guys are all going, because my plans got canceled. So I was like, I'll go. And I get there. I know the person who was throwing the event. I say hi, blah, blah, blah. I get there, and I just remember I was sitting down talking to another lady. And I remember both of us went like this. Like, I leaned out and she leaned out. I was like, oh. So we both went up to each other. I was like, oh, hi. And then from then, we've been inseparable. But no, since then, our friendship just grew and grew and became this amazing, magical friendship that just means so much. And so, yeah, it's again, just how it's interesting how the universe works, and how people that are meant to be in your path are going to be in your path. Sometimes the timing might not be the right time, even though you met each other and know that you're going to be in each other's lives. The timing might not be, wasn't supposed to happen at that time. And then when it does, when it's supposed to, it will. Because again, if they're meant to be in your life, they are meant to be in your life. Like, there's no stopping it, because you can't stop what is meant to happen, what is meant for you, what the universe means for you. So that is my story with my friend Soribel, that you will get to meet in the next episode. of conversations with Kat. And so these are actually frying up really nicely. I like them with the cornstarch dusting. The only thing is this, I'm so anal about making sure to get all sides crispy. I know not everybody is like this, but I am. That to turn and get each side, it's a pain in the butt. But we're getting there. Leave them, and I'm going to put the other new ones on the side. I'm going to move the camera in a minute to show you how it looks. So I did the tofu, and then I also had some chickpeas, some red beans, some kidney beans, some celery, some cabbage, and pomegranate. Then I'm going to put together and do like and a half a cucumber. Do a crispy, crunchy, refreshing, hopefully, salad. Delicious salad. And see how it tastes. Hopefully it's good. And I find, sometimes it's you can just go to certain places and or not go to certain places, but I've been to places where I try and the food is so unassuming. Actually, it was in Tortola where the food is very unassuming. Like it doesn't look like anything special. I had at the supermarket, I bought a 3-bean some bean salads and pasta salad because nobody else. Ow! I just burned myself. Not everybody there, or most of the people there, were not vegan. It was just me and another girl, or plant-based. It was just me and another girl. So, it was going to be limited, and her, like me, was very much about making sure she has something to eat for herself, to always be prepared. So they had these bean salad, and it was so tasty. Like, because my thing is with my meals, it's usually a lot of things put together, and with tasting the very simple, unassuming foods that I had in Tortola, very unassuming, like nothing special in the names and how they're prepared, but they were so freaking flavorful and delicious. Like this 3-bean salad, I don't know what it was. There was like a sweetness to it. And it was just really, really tasty. So I kind of wanted that same sweet flavor in the salad that I'm going to make today. See if I can recreate something close to it, but with a little bit more textures. And more substance. Okay, let me go ahead and move this. Okay, so that's how they're looking. They're very nice and crispy. I'm going to remove these ones that are, see how there's some sides that are just not as well done. Remove these. Hopefully they're not too dry and too hard or too crispy. Because sometimes that can happen, but with the dressing, it should help soften it up a bit. With these, I was thinking to toss it with my the marinade, the sauce that I made from the marinade of the watermelon tuna. Have you guys seen that recipe? So there's they are. So I did burn myself. And that's why I have white flour on my hand. A friend of mine actually told me this. Turn this way down. To put a flour and water mixture paste, a flour paste on it when you get burned immediately or as soon as you can. And I've done that and it has helped tremendously. So if you get burned, flour paste. And it takes the pain away. It heals it a lot faster. All right, so these tofus, the tofu is all done. And this is my watermelon tuna marinade sauce that I've thickened. You'll find that video on my shorts as to how I thicken it. So this will create a glaze because it is pretty high sugar content. Am I still on this? And just gonna coat it. Oh, that sauce smells so amazing. So amazing. I love the sauce. It's sweet, it's savory. It's just so good. So I'm just tossing it to coat it, just to give it some flavor. It's this tiny little piece here I'm going to try. This is why I burn myself. So hot. Oh my God. Oh, that crunches. That crunch is perfect. Add a little bit more sauce. So yeah, this sauce, you can put it on anything that is like meaty. You can use it on tofu, mushrooms, just over rice, as like a sauce. If you're a saucy person, I'm a saucy girl. I love rice with sauce. I love a lot of stuff with sauce. So this is a great sauce for it. So that's done. I'm gonna now chop up my veggies so that I can put it all together. And then the last thing I'll do is the dressing. So let me get a bowl and then I'll do the cutting. All right, so we are gonna do the cucumbers, or half a cucumber. I'm just gonna chop it up, I think, into bite-sized pieces. The end off. Always dries out. Like, I mean, it's not bad, but cut off. What else? What else do I have to talk about? Oh, I realized I had this thought the other day, because I was reading. Oh, for Art Basel, there's a video of this guy that decides that for his content he's gonna just go across an art installation that you're not supposed to cross, that says you're not supposed to cross for content. And they were saying that because of it, it was more security and you can't get as close up to it or whatever. So I commented and just be like, oh, great. Someone had said, oh, if you can see, because they were saying that he went up to get the books and you're not supposed to go and get the books because there's already books selected that the artist put out for you to read, whatever. So then this person commented and said, oh, don't you see that they have a book in their hand when they walked up? And I had made a comment like, well, that makes it even worse because then they just went and did content really and ruined the experience for everybody else. And then someone else, I don't know if it was the same person. I honestly didn't look at the user name to see if it was the same person. Was like, how did he ruin how did he ruin it for everybody else? And then had put STFU, so shut the fuck up. And I'm like, and it made me think because I was like, it's so, people are so easy to say whatever because of social media and it's behind a screen, and some of these people might not even be real, and so on and so forth. So actually, I think I did these a little too small. I think I just won't half it. I ended up halving it, and now it's going to be too small a piece, but it's okay. So, and it just made me think, like, where is just human kindness? And like, why? I was like, what did I say to you that would provoke you to say to a stranger that did not offend you in any way, was not rude to you in any way, was not even really talking about you because you're not the person in in the post, like, that you would feel that offended to tell a complete stranger to shut the fuck up? Like, where does that come from, and why does it happen, and how do people even be like, think that's okay to do? And if you talk about it, they're like, oh, that just happens, there's trolls and blah 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 blah. But what does that do to our psyche, our subconscious thinking of people, and how people are in the world, and our perception? How does it change and shape our perception of people when, it's normal and it's acceptable for people to be rude and disrespectful to each other for absolutely no reason whatsoever, for saying something that, whether it's because they don't agree or disagree with your point, like, that is so normalized to just be rude and unkind to a complete stranger and not think twice about it. And anybody reading it will be like, oh, whatever, it's normal. That is a sad society to be in, when basic decency and consideration and respect for another person is gone. Because it is. When you get to the point where you can just talk to people however, be whatever you want, and yes, be yourself, be authentic, but come on. Hopefully your authentic self is not a rude ass person. But maybe they are. I don't know. But I honestly, in my hearts of heart, do not believe that people innately are horrible, terrible people. I don't. Maybe that's naive, but I think most people, if not everyone, at their core is nice, is not mean and rude. And it's just conditioning and society that has made it so. I don't know. Am I naive for thinking that? Or do you guys agree with me? Like, do you think people are innately terrible? Because the experience that I've had in my life would say that people are not innately terrible and horrible. But they've kind of, society, conditioning, people have made it so. But so my response was, I did give a little bit of attitude and said, well, if you can read, is because he's not supposed to cross the line. That's how he ruined it for everybody. So now the rest of us that have not experienced it cannot go up as close. And instead of rebuttaling with curse word and rudeness, I just said, have a nice day. Because and trust me, it took a lot for me to not be rude back, but I was like, well, what purpose does it serve if I stoop down and just be rude to another stranger that I don't know? Even though they were rude to me, there's that still shouldn't make me stoop below. Oh, this is frozen a little bit. Stoop below my own standards and what I would want, how I would want to be, and how I would want others to be towards me. So yeah, I decided to not be rude and to be nice, to use nice words. Oh, let me cut this end off. And I felt better about it. But my whole point was in saying that, like, how can we bring it back to where we have human decency to each other, regardless of the differences? I don't want to lose hope that has disappeared and that it will never happen again, because of the experiences that I've had just in this year of amazing people. And mind you, yes, these are people I would have more in common with than not, but we also have many differences in our lives, different walks of life, different backgrounds, different experiences coming together as well. And difference is difference, and every single person had a beautiful heart at the end of it. And to make friends and to make new connections, and of people that are great people that you like, that and then to hear new things happen with them, I think that is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I did celery, cucumbers, and some red cabbage, because that's what I have. Now I'm going to put, I think this bowl is going to be too small. And then I'm going to go ahead, and it definitely is going to be too small. I'm going to put chickpeas and kidney beans. I'm going to rinse that out, and put that in there. I'm definitely going to need a bigger bowl. And let me show you my new found way of opening a can. I never knew this. I learned this from another IG or social media video, and it blew my mind. This guy, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but he was like, his daughter cooks a lot, so he wanted to make sure safety in the kitchen of the cans because they cut. So he's like, the proper way to open a can is not how we usually do it, like this, and then you have the rough edges and it cuts you, is to do it like this, like the automatic can openers. So you're supposed to put it like this, click it. Let's see, the last time I did it, it wasn't working too well. I don't know why. When I tried to do it on camera, every other time it was fine, but the time where I tried to show it and put it on camera, it didn't work. too well. Let's see if it's doing it now. Maybe it's just my, yeah. So it's supposed to, somewhere along the line, I think it's my opener. I lose the connection and then it doesn't want to come off. So it comes off like this. This one might be a little bit rough. It's not that rough. I can still run it and not cut. It's pretty smooth. And this part is also smooth. It's not jaggedy. You're not going to cut yourself. So that's one can. God, these are packed so hard in. Look, doesn't want to come out. So we're going to rinse those. Like I said, do the chickpeas. Okay, now let's do the up can. This. And then we're going to make a quick dressing and put this baby together. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. You see? No cuts. It's smooth. Smooth, smooth, smooth. No cuts. So that's how you're supposed to open cans, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know. So we're going to rinse the beans out, add it to our bowl, and then I'm going to add in some pomegranates that I broke up earlier. I will link the video that I did of how to break open a pomegranate. It's almost out of season. I think it is out of season. So I just need to get a bigger bowl. Okay, so I'll probably use this bowl to bring it over. Toss that in. Look at the colors. Well, colors look a lot better with this without this neon or fluorescent lighting, not neon, fluorescent lighting. But nice crunch, and then you got the fiber, the textures from the beans, the soft. I was gonna put potatoes, but no. Dressing. So I'm gonna. All right, so now we're just gonna do a quick dressing. Usually with dressings, you just want an acidic. So whether it's lime, lemons, some sort of vinegar, and then you want to balance it with sweetness. So maple syrup, agave, honey, whichever you prefer. I've seen a lot of recipe with Dijon mustard. I'm not a mustard person, but it looks like it adds a flavor. So I have it. So I'm gonna put that in. And olive oil. What else am I missing? Obviously, if you want it savory, you can do soy sauce, salt, anything you want. So I have red wine vinegar, which I don't have a lot of. So I'm going to mix it with some apple cider vinegar. To about half. You can always keep it. A good thing of olive oil. I want it sweeter. Well, not sweeter, but sweet. And then the Dijon mustard. And I don't know, I'm feeling for some oregano in it. I don't know why, but it's calling for me to put it in. So some oregano. And some salt. I have a feeling I need more sweetener. And some pepper. And then we're just gonna shake it up. See how it tastes. It needs something else. I'm not sure what it needs, but I taste the mustard in there. We do a little bit low on maple syrup, so let me do a little bit of agave, because you only need oops, that was probably a lot. A little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt in here. Shake it up a little bit more. I like that. I think that is good. Let me see. We're just gonna pour it in. That mix. I wish I had fresh parsley or some kind of herbs, but I don't. Or cilantro, some kind of herbs, either cilantro, parsley, or a mix of both. But unfortunately, I don't have it. I think that would make it pop even more. See how it tastes together. Mmm, 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 mmm. This is good. Mmm, mmm, mmm. And then you have the crispy, sticky, meaty tofu. I'm gonna add some, oh my God, that's so good. Add some pomegranate in here. I was debating whether I wanted to add nuts, maybe some pumpkin seeds. Ooh, I'll add some hemp seeds for extra protein and extra vitamins. Oh my God. Yeah, this, if I had parsley and cilantro, this would be, I know they're two different flavors, but they're still equally good. They both, and they work well together or separately. Needs a little bit, put a little bit more dressing, put That's the ones without. And a little late, but we're gonna pack this up. I'm gonna bring it over, see what she thinks. And then have our conversation and our dinner. Let me take another bite with a little bit more of a dressing. Oh, that is good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm going to pack this up and bring this over, and you will hear from her to see her honest opinion and listen, check out the conversations with Kat episode with my friend Sorabel, who's also a brilliant professor. If I didn't mention that, I don't know. I only mentioned how we met, but brilliant professor, and now about to be a writer. She wrote a book, so getting that published. So amazing woman. I can't wait for you to meet her and listen to our conversations. But until next time in the kitchen, stay curious.